Hey, what's going on, everybody, and welcome back once again. My name is Jordan, also known as J Monster, and I want to thank you for joining me for another Age Reforged replay battle. Despite the Mangonel that you can see in the back there, this is actually played on 0.96.1. The Mangonel is a unit that is technically in the game already, but you can't play with it unless it's added in a scenario. So that's why it's here. You guys are a little bit confused after our last couple of Mangonel videos. It is something that is going to be available freely to everybody in 0.97, but currently it is not outside of scenarios. So just to clear that up before we even start. This video, I believe, or this replay rather, was sent to me by, I think it was both Lango and Bobo sent me a copy of it, and I don't really know whose I'm dealing with right now. But big thank you to both of them for supporting the channel. This is actually going to be a scenario battle, and a siege battle at that. And we're going to see the goblins and the evil forces on the defense for once, which is pretty unique as far as siege scenarios go. So without any further ado, let's take a look at some of the army comps here. We'll go over them briefly because they are all kind of jumbled together inside of this tiny fortress. And then we'll jump into the replay. Oh, well, we'll take a look at the attackers as well, but then we'll jump into the replay. In any case, first army we're going to look at today, or at least the section of it, is the army of Lango. He's playing as the goblins in the Misty Mountains. Got some heavy goblin halberds here. 1, 2, I think 3, probably about 3. 4. What do you know? 4 units heavy goblin halberds. We've got Isengard elements here under Bobo, and he's got Guards of the Orthanc and Lords' Hunting Pack, which are actually Rangers, so they are BP. Be afraid. Be very afraid. Stock of Skirmishers here from Bobo, with the unique Isengard model on them. You can see those. It looks really cool. I like the white hand thing that the Karankoma did. And you got some Half-Orc Vanguard, looking a little bit dated, but they will be getting an aesthetic upgrade, thanks to Karankoma, who did the Stalkers, so that's pretty cool. Gonna be looking a lot nicer in the new patch. Nalzakai, Half-Orc Spear Guard, again getting the same overhaul. The facelift, that's the one I want. I say overhaul a lot. Yes, aesthetic facelift that the other Half-Orc units are going to be getting. Then we've got Uruk-hai Raiders from Bobo as well. Look really damn cool. Again, the work of Karankoma. He's done a lot of work for Isengard. He does a lot of work generally. He's great. Uruk-hai Pikemen, more Uruk-hai Pikemen, Uruk-hai Raiders, Uruk-hai Archers. We got back here Uruk-hai Infantry with their armor upgrades. Uruk-hai Pikemen, get more Pikemen. Damn, this is a really big army. Uruk-hai Infantry, more Uruk-hai Infantry. So the real meat and potatoes of the Isengard infantry forces right here. And I think there's a third player. Yes, indeed. There's an Angmar player played by D.F. Lister. And he's got some Witch Realm Hammer Guard. I think there's some Black Guard in there as well. Yes, indeed. Got some Trolls of Angmar, some Trolls of Good and Bad. Big block of just like 8,000 florins or something worth of Angmar troops there. Got some Saga Archers, Angmar Marauders. A nice unit. I personally, I like this unit. They are going to be getting a lot better. They're getting fatigue traits, which they currently lack. And some other stuff, but I have heard a lot of, well, not a lot of grumbling, it's really more from like 2 or 3 people about the Angmar Marauders and how they work. So I'm interested in what do you guys think about the Angmar Marauders. It is worthwhile to keep in mind that they will be getting far better fatigue. It'll be fatigue more along the lines of like human units, which does increase their effectiveness a hell of a lot more. It increases their longevity pretty well across the board, since it when units get tired, and these units get tired more quickly currently, they lose morale, which is a big part of staying in the fight. Witch Realm Pikemen, got some Barrow Whites here as well. Thankfully only 1 unit so far. Flashbacks to the 10 Barrow White Conquest match that I played the other day. Witch Realm Pikemen, Guardians of Karndu, Snaga Archers, more Goblin Track. These are really big armies. More Witch Realm Marauders, Angmar Marauders, Angmar Marauders. Did I say Witch Realm Marauders? I probably meant Angmar Marauders. Maybe Witch Realm Scourge Raiders. I don't know. You guys saw it though. I think that's most of. Nope. Actually, there's more in here. Got some heavy Goblin Archers under Lango. Black Uruks of the Mountain, who just look awesome. Again, a lot of the really cool stuff that I get to show off to you, and the reskins and such were done by Karankoma, and this is no exception. So yeah, they look really cool there. And I think DAC is going to be adding these as well. So if you guys want to play DAC with some reforged models, they will be, I believe, incorporating them into the next patch. Got some K-Troll Drummers here. Blackback Mountain Berserkers. Yet more Black Rooks of the Mountain. And then we have a Goblin King's Bodyguard. A little bit smaller than it will be in the patch. You guys will probably note the differences. And then, is that a single Mangonel, or is there just like 2 of them? Oh, that's going to be fun to try and negotiate with Medieval 2 Pathfinding. Have fun with that, Lanko. And then a ton more goblin infantry over here as well. It's just endless numbers here. A lot of heavy gobos, heavy goblin archers as well. I think there's 2 companies of them mixed in there, and that should be it for the defenders. So let's go ahead and see what the attackers are bringing to the battle today. All right, and the first Cardolan army we are going to look at today is the Cardolan force being commanded by Arcturus. Pardon me. He's got some Ironborn axemen here. Nice little fodder unit. That's it's useful for bringing up ladders. I'd probably put them on a siege tower. Sorry guys, I'm fighting a bit of a cold. It is that season after all. I'd probably put them on a siege tower just because it shields them a bit better, and maybe put some of the Minas spearmen onto the ladders, just because they were able to stand up to missile fire a heck of a lot better. Minas swordsman here, and it's more Ironborn axemen. Can be carting around that ladder. A couple units of Greenwatch garrison footmen. 1 unit of the Dunedain captains with their armor upgrades, looking real snazzy. I think they've got about 9 armor or something like that, so they're a bit less armored than a lot of Arthedain units, which, speaking of, we have an Arthedain force here being commanded by Eclipse 2500. He's got some real nasty units, more of like an elite corps rather than an entire Arthedain army from what I can tell. Got some dismounted Foreign Asturian Knights here, I believe 2 units of them. 1 unit of the dismounted Knights of Anuinas. Unit of Arthedain pikemen, a bunch of Arthedain pikemen. I probably hazard a guess about 3. A couple units of the Arthedain marksmen as well. I really love the way these guys look. I think got some Arthedain men at arms. 1, 2, probably 3, 4, maybe Arthedain units or Arthedain men at arm units. Yeah, Hopper Trade arms, Evidum spearmen, some Anuminas gate guards, and some Hobbit slingers, which are an interesting unit. They actually had their ammo decreased. I think it was like 60, which is basically unlimited ammo. To something a bit more reasonable. Just because, I mean, anyone that's used a sling knows that you can't just pick up any old rock and put it in your sling and haha, unlimited ammo. There's pretty specific sling bullets, and oftentimes slingers actually make their own out of sometimes like lead and things like that, so they literally were bullets. Moving on over here, we've got the army of Pasternak, who's also playing as Cardolan. Got some mercenary guildsmen, a bunch of mercenary guildsmen. Finally, see them on the field for once. Ironborn axemen. Another unit of Ironborn axemen is going to be carting around with the ladder. Dunedain captains, again with their armor upgrade. I love the way that they look. Tharbad warhammers, a bit of a note on Cardolan actually. Spoiler alert for patch 0.97. I promise I won't go into too much detail to make this a 40-minute introduction. But we will be adding some new units to replace the Greenwatch garrison ones, and they're going to be Tharbad militia units. They're going to look pretty similar to these ones, and then we'll maybe be doing a bit of shuffling around with some of the other Cardolan units just to play with them and try and give everybody a purpose in the roster so no one's outshining everyone in every other situation. In any case, a couple units here are the mercenary war chiefs, Dunedain captains, because of course. Greenwatch garrison footmen, 1, 2 probably about units of them. 3rd one over here. Minas sharpshooters. The lag. There's just so many people on the field today. Minas sharpshooters, another company of them. And a unit of Minas spearmen is going to be carting around the ram. Swordsmen, spearmen, more spearmen, and then a unit of swordsmen is going to be carting the towers forward. I think there's another Cardolan armies. There should be about 4 or 5 armies, I think, on the field today. And this one's going to be commanded by Froggy. Frogy? I think it's Froggy. Let's go with that. He's got some Minas swordsmen, more swordsmen, yet more swordsmen, and a whole bunch of ladders here. Some of them being carted around by the Erevorn axemen, 1, 2, 3. Got some Greenwatch garrison footmen and some mercenary guildsmen. And what do we got over here? Minotaur Roman Guardians. Yes. The crossbows for which Cardolan is so greatly famed. A couple of mercenary guildsmen. Trebuchet. Because, of course, Hearthguard of Almonsul. Wardens of Tirn Gorthod, who get a nice buff in the next patch. We got some Tharbad Warhammers here as well. Altogether, really nice, decent Cardolan armies. Some of them are nicer than others. Normally you don't see the mercenary guildsmen because they're honestly not all that great currently. They mostly make up for their weakness in numbers. But yeah, this is going to be a hell of a siege, so without any further ado, let's jump into it. Alright, now the defenders are beginning to approach the walls here. You can see the first Cardolan army under Pasternak about to make first contact with the enemy. Move over here, you can see that the Cardolan Trebuchet has had some pretty decent success in collapsing or weakening certain sections of the wall here. You can see the 3rd level of this mighty triple-layered citadel, which I don't think we've seen a fight on in a very long time, if ever. Has already been collapsed, so there's a way into the 3rd level. And then, of course, there's some weakened sections of wall down here, and it seems like the Cardinal Trebuchet is going to reposition a little bit and maybe go for some continued assaults against these sections of wall in order to break their way in. And of course, they have plenty of siege equipment to get through the first wall, so the attackers have quite rightly decided not to focus too heavily on them. Passenak's army slowly but surely making their way up under some light fire from the arrow towers of the Citadel. See the Ironborn Axemen about ready to drop their ladders up there. I hope they don't go up alone. Although, if they went against the Heavy Goblin Archers, it might even be worth it. But there is some reinforcements up here in the form of the Half-Orc Spear Guard. Although, it is worth mentioning that the defending line here is quite thinly spread. Although, with the low morale, the Ironborn Axemen, and the support of those archer units who are already moving themselves onto the ground level in order to fire into the exposed flanks of those Ironborn Axemen, if they dare to cross the threshold, that would be a big problem for them. I don't think the Ironborn Axemen will be able to do this unaided, regardless of how thin the enemy's defenses seem to be. About the gatehouse, though, that's where the real party is ready to begin. A lot of troops over there. And the defenders, fairly thinly spread, although over here you can see a really high concentration of troops, a lot of missile units, Snagga skirmishers, Urukai raiders, heavy Gabo infantry, and up here on the wall is a unit of the Urukai archers. So let's see what Passenak's plan is going to be here. Doesn't want to attack and spread himself too thinly either. That could be a problem, although with the quality of the units up here, he might have that ability. Urukai raiders, they're okay. But I think the Cardinal units would probably have a decent time against them with their high armor and shield. Although the morale is certainly a problem, there's no nearby morale buffing units, so we'll see what happens with this Cardinal assault. It might end up petering out really before it gets into full swing. What we got over here? Ooh, Gabo archers firing down to the Cardinal Axemen. And they really need to get themselves moving. They're going to get up there in time. Oh, is this going to be an ugly massacre? It's like the episode of Game of Thrones. You know what I'm talking about, the assault on Blackwater Bay. People dying every 2 seconds to massive arrow fire. Yeah. Man, this triple air fortress, this is some serious nightmare fuel for an attacker. Let's just look at that. Really, really deadly, and there's only so many ways you can attack this, right? Like, you have to come in through this gatehouse area, and you have to come up here and go the longest possible distance to the final point. It's going to be a hell of a fight. Let's go ahead, kicked out at full speed. Seems like some Cardinal units here. Ooh, another section of wall has now collapsed under the weight of the bombardment from the Cardinal Trebuchet. Froggy coming forward, getting his ladders into position. I think, no, this is actually Passenak. This is one of his, is that a spear unit up there? Oh no, it's a sword unit. At least he's putting them up there first. Oh, and there they are. That's not a good position for them to be in, though. I don't know if the Muskorithan swordsmen will stand their ground and fight in this kind of situation. What we got over here? Now, these guys still haven't gotten their ladder up. They're just really taking a beating from this Heavy Goblin Archer. So in response, Passenak has moved forward, actually bullying those Heavy Goblin Archers out of place and making the Spear Guard spread themselves out a little bit more. So now the Ironborn Axemen, actually, this wouldn't be a bad place for them to go. They would be able to lend a bit of support to their allies, Muskorithan swordsmen, but they would be a little bit isolated, but there's enough of the Cardinal forces nearby that they can certainly pick up the rifles of their fallen comrades as they flee like the cowards that they are. Over here, Muskorithan swordsmen, ooh, from their fiery bombardment. We'll go ahead and we'll check out which sections of wall they're destroying exactly, but I don't want to miss any of the action here. More and more Cardinal forces muscling their way onto the wall, and they've done reasonably well so far, as attacking units tend to do as they pile in. But now that they are surrounded like this, it's not going to be fun for them. I think this is where the progress of the Cardinal initial assault, at least, is going to meet an abrupt end. Ironborn Axemen over here. Heavy Goblin infantry. That's a decent fight for them. Kind of a wet noodle fight here. Both these units have really abysmal morale. Yeah, the Ironborn Axemen, they're already shaking. They haven't even got off the ladder yet. But let's see. I want to see what section of the wall have fallen. So we got one there, one up there, ooh, and possibly another entrance here. That's actually really, really smart. It circumvents most of the defenses that the goblins have, goblins and their allies, I should say, have on this this first layer here. and certainly opens up a lot of avenues of attack. Did they manage to take down some of the Uruk-hai archers as well? It does not seem like it. Ooh, they're firing at the Musketh and Swordsman. That's going to be largely ineffective. They got a lot of shield and a lot of armor. Of course, I say that, and you see someone die on screen, but it's really only one. Yeah, they're very resilient to arrows. Not impervious, as we've just seen, but resilient, yes. Another section of wall now collapsing. And the defenders have another avenue into the first level, and potentially a means of flanking the defenders if they are able to keep them busy enough down here in the main line. Interesting. Now this Cardolan army has just got itself into position. This is under Froggy, and they're kind of holding the ground like they're going to fight a field battle or something. This is interesting. The Cardolan forces, along with Arthedain, seem to be a bit all over the place. Speaking of Arthedain, I wonder what they're up to right now. They have formed up. I assume they're going to be some sort of elite special forces for the Cardolan units, who are generally a little bit less quality than Arthedain. Let's see what we got over here. I'd not be surprised if these guys are routing already. Ironborn Axemen piling their way in. Musketh and Swordsman moving in as well. Looks like it's just a single unit of the Guardians of Karn Doom. The Ironborn Axemen hold their ground well enough. They might just do all right up there. Greenwatch Garrison Spearmen moving up there. Not exactly siege troops. Yeah, I definitely wouldn't have brought them to this fight, but well, do what you can. Angmar Marauders moving in. Ooh, this is where it gets ugly for Cardolan. Were they red already? Nope, not yet. Let's get down and dirty with it. I know you guys like to watch the very visceral, weighty combat of Medieval 2. It's a pretty damn cool siege. So far, advantages for the defenders, but that's to be expected. It seems like the Musketh and Swordsmen are actually going to win this fight. I guess the Spear Guard, I would definitely expect them to win like this. Yeah, they kind of bisected the unit, although I think there are some Gobos nearby. Heavy Goblin Archers, yeah, they could lend a lot of support to the unit up on the wall. Meanwhile, over here, more and more Cardolan troops pouring onto the walls. The Ironborn Axemen have been routed, but there's some heavier armored troops coming up the ladder to pick up where they left off. Musketh and Swordsman over here against the Uruk-hai Raiders. Interesting fight. The Raiders are low on defense, they have good attack. But the Musketh and Swordsmen have average attack, but high defense. We'll see how that works out for them. Ooh, Heavy Goblin Archers over here. Getting bullied off the walls once again. Some Goblin Halberds coming up. Ooh, the Swordsman over here on the verge of routing. 96 of them. Yeah. This is why I think people don't usually pick Cardolan as the attacker in a siege. Because it is hard to support these units with Inspire when they're up on the walls and fighting in pretty rough situations. Well, today we got 3 of them, which is pretty damn cool. Guildsmen here about to batter down the gate. And the unit mercenary guildsmen rushing up onto the walls. Ironborn Axemen kind of got butchered. Didn't do a ton in return. But that's okay. They're really not all that important as units go. Ooh, gate is down. Goblin Halberds seem to be already moving out of the gate. Go ahead and take a look at that in a second. Just want to get a sense of the reserves of the Cardolan force. They've still got a fair amount, and they still have, of course, Arthedain yet to come. Over here, Cardolan forces, it seems like they're losing to the Heavy Gobos. I think a lot of that has to do with the all that support coming in. Uruk-hai Raiders moving in as well. Snaga Skirmishers down there too. That's real nasty. Another section of wall collapsing under the weight of that trebuchet, as the defenders rapidly move to scramble forces to defend this new front that will surely be opening up quite shortly. Let's see what's going on about the gatehouse. I think one of these has been breached. What do we got over here? Ooh, a sally on the part of the Trolls of Gundabad. Arthedain marksmen trying to flee, get out of there as quickly as possible. The swordsmen, unaided against the Trolls, will have a very hard time. The Greenwatch Garrison, however, they can be pretty nasty. Goblin Trackers up there, ready to rain down death on the lightly armored and unshielded Cardolan footmen. Some Means Griffin archers, however, ready to return fire. Let's see what they're going to be shooting at. Ah, snug archers down in there, I see. Trolls of Gundabad now hightailing it out of there. And they're going to leave the knife work to the Guardians of Karn-Dûm, who are waiting in reserve. Some more Angmar units over here, maybe. I see. Yeah, I think these frontal assaults like this into masses of orcs, it's not working out well for Cardalin, so I think now it's time to change tack a little bit. Oh, what do you know? Arcturus is a catapult. I didn't even realize. That'll be useful. It'll be useful a bit later. I would definitely focus on this section of wall here. Try and bring that down if you can. The corners you can't always. It's usually the flat sections of wall that are able to be crumbled. Oh, Guardians of Karn-Dûm moving in here against the Means Griffin. I think those are spearmen. Oh yeah, it's going to be no problem for the Guardians of Karn-Dûm. Another attack here into the Means Griffin swordsman by the Trolls of Gundabad. It's going to hurt. It's really going to hurt. More and more forces moving in. Cardalin has only just begun to fight, and now Arthedain is moving in a big way. So this is going to be, I think, where the defenders get the breakthroughs that they need, because I haven't really seen the signs of them being able to bust through in any other section of wall, which is a little bit unfortunate. Well, let's see. A quick overview of the battle here. Ah, yes, this is the gatehouse that has now been opened up by, I believe, past the next army. A little bit of support here from Eclipse. Firing directly through the gatehouse at what, I wonder? Okay, infantry, probably not the best target. There are all these halberds, however. You can definitely thin them out, and they're asking for it. What do we got over here? Cardalin has broken through this other gate. Mercenary Guildsmen fighting hard against Goblin infantry, against Uruk-hai infantry. More and more reinforcements pouring in. Minotaur Roman Guardians nearby as well. I think they inspire on the current patch. I'm not 100% sure about that. Mercenary Guildsmen over here, putting pressure on the heavy goblins up on the wall. Oh, they're getting beat down the other side, but these Mercenary Guildsmen are on the verge of routing. If they can just hold the line just a bit longer, then I think these heavy goblins will start to crumble. Let's see what happens. We'll come back here. Ooh, really nasty. A lot of dead bodies here, but it seems like the Cardalin forces have given up trying to assault with this particular piece of siege equipment. 64 units now fleeing for the hills. Meanwhile, more of them are going up and over the top here, and they have managed to make some gains. Those sharpshooters I see in there? Oh, indeed, there are sharpshooters. The halberds are trying to put pressure on the sharpshooters so they can't fire into, say, the Uruk-hai raiders across the way here. That'd be a great help to the Cardalin units, who seem to be struggling a little bit. Oh no, the guildsmen and the sharpshooters, there are some of them up here, and they are getting caught out by the Uruk-hai infantry, so there's a risk, and I don't think it's one that's going to pay off for Pasternak. Although, more mercenary guildsmen, more sharpshooters coming up, though. Sharpshooters are armor-piercing. They probably do pretty decently against the heavy goblin halberds. The gatehouse, however, Cardalin is going to suffer a defeat, I think. There's just so many numbers arrayed against them. The morale and the fear of the troll drummers. I think this is, yeah, we can see a mass rout here take place pretty quickly, but we have, of course, our not even but maybe about a third of the way, a bit less through this replay. So still a lot of fight left to come. Let's see what the Arthedain marksmen do here. Interesting. Yeah, they are taking shots at those heavy goblin halberds. They have managed to do a fair amount of damage to them. And now as they start to walk away, more casualties being accrued by the unit of heavy goblin halberd. But it's a drop in the bucket, really, for what the defenders have at their disposal. Let's go over to the other side here. Let's see how things are going. It seems like Cardalin, with the help of Arthedain, is actually making some strides here and taking the walls from Angmar. It is very, very close, though. Arthedain men-at-arms, fully upgraded, coming in against the Guardians of Karn-Dûm. This is apparently victory. Some Black Heroes of the Mountains, some Guardians of Karn-Dûm, and a few trolls here. Not many left, though. They seem just disappearing into the mosh pit of Cardalin forces. And then, of course, there's all of these things still waiting out here. Yeah, I think this, as I predicted earlier, this is going to be the place on the western side of the Citadel where the attackers managed to break through. Certainly where they had the highest concentration of their best troops. So, yeah, it was inevitable, I suppose, from that perspective. What we got here? Let's see what they still have hiding. Oh, they have so much. And they have the Mangonels. The Mangonels are particularly effective against CITADEL, I would say, especially in a siege battle like this where they can't help but not get blown up. Although the Mangonels work a lot differently in live because they haven't had the tweaks I've given them to their projectiles, so it might not work out all that well for them at Misty Mountain's forces. We'll see. Froggy over here still has a lot of troops. Got some routers. 60 airborne next. I'm hoping that we see these guys come back. They are rapidly approaching the edge of the map. What do we got over here? This is where the elites are. The elites are going to make a big difference, but the attackers have quite wisely kept those in reserve, as you do in a siege. It didn't seem like things worked out very well for CITADEL over here. These heavy goblin infantry should get beaten. And over here is where we saw those mercenary guildsmen fighting for their lives, but they're not doing well either. Well, CITADEL at the gatehouse is making some progress. We'll see how long that remains the case. These mercenary guildsmen have now been routed, and they're going to flee off the battlefield. Yeah, I don't know if CITADEL has the troops to do this. It's an interesting fight. Minotaur Roman Guardians. I wonder what they're shooting at. Let's find out. Ukai infantry, perhaps. Ooh, almost certainly. Ooh, some nasty damage there being done to that unit. Great use of the crossbow. They're very sheltered from any fire there, and I think they've got control of the walls for the most part. Yeah, mercenary war chiefs moving up here against goblin halberds. Morale's a bit shaky. I think the CITADEL forces will be able to break through here as well. So finally, CITADEL making the gains that they need. Okay, archers. Ooh. But we'll bring in those to bear. Sharpshooters still outside the walls. It's just been a massacre. It's hard to tell who's winning. This is not looking great. Although there's a ton of pikes in here, honestly, the pikes alone being brought to bear against sword and board infantry. Not necessarily sword, in their case axe. Against sword and board infantry, I was calling that for ease of use. It's a tough fight. The pikes have way more range. Sword and board units tend to be fairly basic unless they're elites, and so unaided, without any sort of higher reach units of their own, I think this is a fight that CITADEL and Arden could eventually take. And without a whole ton of loss, although I say that now. Some nasty units up here, goblin archers, snog archers, very much the bane of any pike unit. Let's see where these reinforcements are going. Some Witch Realm pikemen being shuffled over here, where it seems like CITADEL is now beginning to lose ground. I think a lot of that has to do with how penned in they are. What do we got over here? Some Thieves of Tharbad. Not a terrible unit. Some few elites being brought forward. Some elite pikemen. Might be trying to get some troops up here to pressure those goblin trackers. And they're now going to run down onto the ground floor. So at least that threat has been temporarily, at least, neutralized. Guardians of Karn Doom going to lose this fight. CITADEL just needs to hold. What are we doing over here? Better, I think. And then Arms probably win that fight against the Orc Marauders with the numbers that they have. Arthur Men at Arms, it says they're not doing great, and honestly, they're kind of being penned in between some Guardians of Karn Doom and some Angmar Marauders. It's kind of a waste of forces over here without any additional support. Maybe if the Dunite captains were over here, this could be a point of breakthrough for them, I think. But it doesn't seem like that's really going to happen for them at this point. Let's head back to one of the gatehouses, where it appears Arthedain has made great strides. Pikemen here, cutting off reinforcements. There are, however, some Witch Realm pikemen, which are a higher quality pikemen than those of just the regular Arthedain units. So this will be interesting. Ooh, fire arrows, I wonder where they're going. Probably going to fall smack dab in the middle of this blob. Which is certainly not going to do nice things for their morale, though most of it seems to be hitting the Angmar forces. It'd be nice if they could get a bit of a rout here. It'd be nice if the defenders could get a break. Really getting hammered all across the walls here. Just vicious fighting. Urukai infantry. Ooh, we're about to crush a very large unit of Minas Tirith spearmen. Greenwatch Garrison, however, will be able to hold this street here pretty well indefinitely against them. And there are some halberds coming in from behind. The Carlin forces aren't really able to cut through these Urukai raiders fast enough. So I think this section of the Carlin attack might end up being crushed here. The Minas Tirith spearmen running away. Ooh, this is just so nasty. Yeah, big advantage so far for the defenders. It's like 14 or so%. Although, that being said, they have actually lost a fight here at this gatehouse. This is the easternmost gatehouse, I believe. Looks like northeastern-ish. Let's see how Carlin is doing elsewhere. They're making strides here against this mighty unit of Goblin infantry, which we've come back here like 3 or so times. And this unit was still fighting. Carlin has certainly taken disproportionate casualties to the defenders so far. I think a lot of it has to do with the missile support, though. Definitely. And, of course, the towers, which are just unrelentingly firing into the defenders. Yeah, the defenders, I think, are well poised to win this. They've still got a lot. They've killed about nearly half of their enemies on the first level alone. Interesting. See exactly what Carlin can do to try and even things out a little bit here, because they certainly need some help. The Carlin player here, Arcturos, holding the line. Arthedain under Eclipse is poised for a breakthrough, but there's still so many more troops they have to cut their way through. They could go down this opposite direction, however, and outflank the Witchrom units, but there are pikes there, and again, they'd be using basic men-at-arms units to do that, so it's a tough call. Arthedain pikemen here, these Grithlin archers. Ooh, this is looking real grim for the defenders. Or for the attackers, I should say. I'm so used to Carlin being on the defensive because they are a defensively oriented faction that, yeah, it's kind of thrown me a little bit here. But I don't think anyone would send me a blowout replay. So we'll see what happens. I have it on good authority that this replay should be quite close. Very stagnant fighting so far. Carlin just trying to get that foothold that they need. What do we got here? Awesome reinforcements. Mercenary war chiefs coming in from behind these goblin halberds, and what I thought was going to be a major defeat for Carlin actually turned into something pretty decent. And the Urukai infantry are going to try and hack their way through here, but they're about to get attacked in the rear, or these heavy goblin archers will be silenced by those heavy spearmen. Mercenary guildsmen, oh, they just routed. That's unfortunate. That would have been useful to have against Urukai infantry. Urukai infantry trying to push their way out of here. They see the danger that they're in. Bobo does not want to get caught between a bunch of Carlin units. More reinforcements coming down here. These heavy goblin halberds will not be able to hold for long. And meanwhile, reinforcements are on the way. Ooh, and they're also getting shot too by some nasty crossbow shots from the Minotaur Roman Guardians. Come on, Gobos, rout. There they go. And now this Isengard pocket here, it's their turn to be completely encircled. Let's see what kind of damage. Now that they've had this breakthrough, let's see what kind of damage these units that the attacking units can do to the defenders who have made them pay so grievously for the progress they've made so far. Urukai archer is getting caught out by some spearmen. Didn't need to zip up there to the rooftops. Yeah, those archers are in defensive formation too, so these spearmen are going to chew their way through these units. Greenwatch garrison footmen should probably get off the walls as soon as possible. Arthedain has broken through. They've isolated a portion of that Isengard defense, and now they're very much in danger of being surrounded. So Isengard, Bobo's army, they're in some trouble. Ooh, another section of wall collapsing. So many ways for the defenders to move through. Of course, there are still the Mangonels, but if they can get in there and silence those Mangonels, it's a pretty big win for the attacking forces, because they can do a lot of damage, especially as I mentioned earlier to Carlin. You guys saw them in action. They're, as I said, a bit different, significantly different, but still. If any of that fire touches the Carlin troops, they might just break and run. The Trump pikemen are locked in a polearm to polearm contest here with the Arthedain pikemen. The Arthedain pikemen have done well. I don't think these Witchrom pikemen will be able to stand for too much longer. Let's see what else the attackers have. It's really going to be important for the attackers to have some significant hard-hitting reserves. Rangers, some other nice units would be great. I got some garrison footmen, Minas Tirith sharpshooters. So they got most of their elites, though. And a catapult. Yeah. And Wardens of the North. I didn't even realize that they had these. Oh, Arthedain and their allies have definitely just begun to fight. I was getting worried for a while. They've broken through here, slaughtered a significant number of the defenders, and now the percentages are far closer than they were previously. Ooh, Metron Pikemen and these Angmar trolls scattering the Cardinal. Oh no, the Minas Tirith archers just walking down into this. That's a pretty big loss there. I think the Girthan archers are probably out of ammunition, but losing 110 of them, that would really, really suck. And they're gonna try and jump out of there. Yeah, the Angmar forces seem more concerned with saving their own hides than they do with trying to smash the unit of archers apart. So they got a bit lucky there. Four Nosterrain Knights, dismounted Four Nosterrain Knights against some Goblin archers. It seems like Cardlin has made it. Despite all the odds and despite the adversity that they encountered, they did it. And I don't know. It's still fairly even too. 6% difference now. That being said, there are some nasty units yet to come. The defenders still have their elites. Of course, their artillery. What do we got here? Goblin trackers up on the walls, firing at what exactly? Numinas Gate Guards. Numinas Gate Guards have pretty decent armor, about 9 armor. The 5 or so damage of those missiles, so they should stand up to that reasonably well, but over a long period of time, it will take its toll. Well, second unit over there as well. Yeah, it's not archers. Less damage, but volume of fire, it does count. Oof. Looks like some of these Isengard archers here just got massacred. Yeah, the wall came down under them. I think Bobo's Isengard army is really all but spent at this point. Some Goblin archers falling back up the hill, retreating through this breach, and now that they're in here, there's going to be a lot of options for attack for the attacking forces. They've got, I think they could always pick up some of their ladders, move on to these sparsely defended sections of wall. Yeah, the defenders are very much in full retreat at this point. Of course, there's still the catapults, so they can just collapse these under those archers, drive them off the wall before the assault even begins. I'm really looking forward to seeing how Cardlin approaches this. That's going to be really interesting. It's very much in the balance right now. Only 4% at this point. There's still some pockets of resistance here from the defenders, but those will be swiftly crushed, I think. Yeah, this heavy Goblin archer is now routing. Some Hobbit Slingers, actually a really nice unit to have. A lot of people tend to ignore them because they don't put a whole lot of stock in the Hobbit Slingers, but they can be very useful. Got up here, dismounted Knights of Inuminas pushing against the rear of the Uruk-hai infantry are being pinned in place by a wall of pikes. Up on the walls, the last place you probably expected to encounter pikemen. The Uruk-hai infantry are going to get massacred. Sharpshooters, ooh, Troll Slayers. A couple units of Troll Slayers here as well. Oh man, just when I thought the defenders were out. This is going to be fun. Alright, let's kick it up to full speed now. Nice little overhead view here. Yeah, those Uruk-hai infantry are on the verge of collapse. I think we got over here some heavy Goblin archers as well, fighting against the Cardlin mercenary war chiefs. It's just kind of, sorry I'm moving the camera so much, trying to get a nice little cheeky screenshot. Quite like it. I like that very visceral close quarters fighting. Now the elites are coming up onto the walls. New 9 captains, some swordsman units. I think maybe some of the units have come back from routing as well. Maybe not. Some might have. Got over here. Mercenary guildsmen trapped in an endless loop. Sucks to be them. Shouldn't be such cowards. Ooh. Yeah, very low frames right now, but honestly, there's a lot of dead people. Still a lot of troops all over the walls. I think that does it. Small pockets of resistance here. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to fast forward just a little bit, and I'll see you guys in just a few moments. Oh, this is where it's getting real. The Cardlin catapult has now been brought to bear against another section of wall. Probably shouldn't be using the fire ammunition. It does not do as much against buildings. It's a lot better against troops, but that does not necessarily hold true for an edifice, a mighty wall like this one. Ooh, it is starting to collapse though. Lucky none of those rocks really do any damage. Otherwise, these Isengard pikemen would be in for a bit of a nasty surprise. Another shot. Come on, just one more. Oh, here it is. Boom. Another section of wall has collapsed. The attackers have turned this defending wall into Swiss cheese. Just look at it. 3 ways in at least on that end. Some of these towers have fallen. Another 2 over here. There's a lot of ways for them to make their way up into the Citadel. I think there's another section of wall here ready to collapse. Already got a breach in the next one. Yeah, this is not going to be easy for the defenders to hold on to, I think. Especially not that now that the percentages are evenly matched. It's 1 for 1 here. And of course the attackers have more elites than the defenders do. What do we got down here? Pikemen running away. Even them spearmen, I think, got routed. That's unfortunate. I think they were hanging out here at the edge of the... Yeah, it's not a good place for them to be. It's a bit of a waste there, I think. Angmar Marauders, however, exhausted, but victorious, fleeing back to the keep to the safety of their own armies. These guys are going to be exhausted for pretty much the rest of the battle, though. As I mentioned, I believe, in the introduction, they don't have any fatigue traits currently. That does count against them, and they probably won't be able to regain enough stamina to even be very tired for the rest of the battle. Retron pikemen here, trapped in a perpetual loop. Sucks for you guys. Now the defenders have it. They have the first level of the Citadel. You know what? Let's take a look. Let's take a look at what it costs them. We'll just go from one end of the wall to the other. Yeah, so much destruction. Look at this place especially. Thousands dead on either side for sure. All across here, fierce fighting. That's something I really enjoyed about this battle so far. Is just the intensity of the combat. It looked like the defenders were having it for a while, and then the attackers are starting to pull it back, and then the defenders, and then ultimately the attackers managed to drive them out of the first level. What are these guys doing? Oh, they're winded already. Some Hearthguard of Amon sold on there as well. Our Roman Guardians still hanging about. It looks like they're out of ammunition. It's unfortunate. But yeah, the attackers paid dearly, but then so did the defenders, and a lot of their sections of their final defense are actually quite compromised. I'm not too sure how defensible this is going to be. Quite rightly, they have fallen back in this area to this single choke point here, this central route that the attackers will inevitably have to pass through. Some of the battered remnants of the garrison of the first level, backing them up. Got their Mangonels as well. Let's see, have they covered this area with the Mangonel? They have not. This would definitely be the area that I attack. For that reason alone. Just because there's not a ton of elites. Guards of War thing. Pretty hard to beat down. But for the most part, yeah, there's some battered remnants of the first level's garrison here. Some numbers I think that could be chewed through quite quickly. Small unit of troll drummers that could be easily assassinated with some projectiles. That's the section I would definitely attack. This one, it's covered by a Mangonel. There's more ways in, I guess. No, there's only 2. Yeah, this would be the harder section to attack. I hope that they don't do that. Unit Troll Slayers, a couple companies of them here. That's going to be a hard thing for the orcs to defeat. If they can sink their teeth into some important units like the Blackback Berserkers, it's a lot of the killing power of the defending armies. Ooh, the Mangonel's going off. What's it going to do? Ooh, a nice hit there in those sharpshooters. Yeah, it fires a lot higher than it does in .97. It's more of a mortar, but it is also more of a risk. It could just as easily have exploded right over here in this area and showered the area in deadly napalm. Would have been awful for the defenders. Let's see what we got here. here? Gate guards, spearmen, men-at-arms. Ooh, we have some ladders being brought forward. Dismounted Four-Noster Rain Knights. Black Heroics of the Mountain, that's not going to be a fun thing for them to fight their way through. But it will, of course, pull them off elsewhere. Ooh, another Mangonel shot going off. Again, missing, and this one actually cascading almost into the defending lines. That's kind of the effect I want to go for in the .97 version of the Mangonel, but I don't want it to be quite so random. I want it to be reliable, but random. I mean, I'm not asking much, am I? Giving them Spearmen over here, lining themselves up. Let's see what they got in the back. Arthurine Men-at-Arms showering the area. Ah, I see exactly what they're going for. Oh, no, not the Mangonel, surprisingly not. Going after that heavy goblin. I would have gone after the Mangonel. Look at this thing. Although, ooh, I think this might actually hit the defenders this time. Yeah, definitely cooked up some of their Angmar Marauders for them. Ooh, what they get over here, though. Well, they routed the Hobbit Slingers, and you can see them running through the fire in a panic, and it actually lights more of them and does more damage. Mangonel is a very powerful tool. It's going to be an interesting challenge to get right. Hopefully they're going after the Mangonel now. Come on. No, those heavy Goblin Halberds are far less of a threat. What are you doing? Yes, here we go. Now they're focusing on the Mangonel. Another big shot. This one actually getting a fair amount of kills here. Arthling Pikemen. Some Hobbitry. Almost catching the Ramelite. Ooh, another shot. What's it going to do? Not that much. Does, I think, cook one of the officers, though. Kind of sucks for the Greenmoss Garrison Footmen. They did not like that at all. Ooh, it's going to fry some of the Minas Tirith Swordsmen as they walk through it. It's going to get any more? I don't think so. It's really only like a second or two window where the fire is exceptionally deadly. Now the Mangonel is going to try to retreat. Yeah, the crew's trying to get out of there, I think. Just fall back with the crew, but that will, of course, give the attackers an opportunity to maybe push through and overtake the Mangonel piece itself. Maybe not now that Isengard has come up with some of the reserve pikemen. Ooh, another shot from the Mangonel. I really love it. I want to get like a good shot of it for the thumbnail. Maybe one more. Still pretty vulnerable. I wonder what they're shooting at now. Goblin trackers. They don't seem to be taking the threat of the Mangonel all that seriously. Maybe that's just... you don't see it very often. Again, not available in .96.1 outside of scenarios. This would certainly be my priority, though, if I was in this situation. What do we got here? Arthurian forces moving in a big way. Ooh, I love it. Mangonel shot, reading down here. Yes. There we go. We have our cheeky thumbnail. Beautiful. Arthurian troops rushing through there. Ooh, some of the Hobbitry, exhausted Hobbitry. Gotta flee off the fields. Arthurian pikemen moving forward to meet the advance of some heavy Goblin Halberds and some Barrow Whites. Uruk-hai pikemen backing them up. More and more Arthurian Cardolan forces just pouring in. You can see some Dunedain Knights in the back there, moving in for a flanking attack and try and push their way through the pikemen. I believe they have a shield wall available to them. Arthurian marksmen just being showered by the defending archers up there on the hill. Goblin trackers. I don't think the Mangonel really has much of a chance of hitting anything that's this close. Let's see what it can do, though. Wow, they've really come in a huge way. Oh, did Mangonel go off? It did. We get a lot of those Garithla sharpshooters. I think we can start to see them rout. Oh, that would be so bad. That would be so bad. I mean, not if you're a defending orc, but yeah, otherwise it would not be great. Let's see what they're shooting at. I think they need, yeah, they definitely need to take the threat of this Mangonel a hell of a lot more seriously. More Goblin skirmishers moving in. Ooh, another gate has fallen. I think that's the central gate, perhaps. Yes, indeed, that's right here. This is going to compromise this defense, which is previously concentrated mostly around these two breaches in the wall. The Arthurian forces coming in. This is a brutal, brutal fight here. both sides. Let's go ahead and we'll slow it down, though. I feel like we're going to miss things on the other end. Is this where the main thrust is? So far, yes. This is kind of a vain gesture, I think. That's our Roman Guardians against pikemen. This is going to end up being a waste of that unit, which can potentially be very helpful, even in melee. They've got about 9 damage and huge defensive stats in addition to. War Chiefs, yeah, I would have maybe kept some units over there to keep the defenders aware of that threat, but I would not be committing at this point. Look at this, though. Is he going to get off another shot? I don't think so. He's trying to get at the Arthur anymore. Oh my goodness! Oh, that is so painful. It's hard to tell who that hurt more, though. I think that was predominantly the defending infantry. Although it's hard to tell since everyone gets obliterated by the Mangonel. So deadly. Just so deadly. Another one, perhaps? Yes? Glorious Mangonel violence. I love it. It's really been the theme of our last, like, 3 videos. But it seems like Arthedain is managing to muscle their way through here. The Barrel Whites will hold them up for a while. This flanking movement is going to prove to be decisive, and I think some Uruk-hai infantry are being brought over here as quickly as possible. The Nazakai will certainly have no problems carving their way through the Grithlin archers. Although there are some Dunanine captains coming up, and they will be able to surround the Nazakai as well. So let's take a look. 74 to 73, still very even. And some trolls. Oh man, they gonna get it off? Come on. No, it's not gonna happen. Oh, it is. Oh, the Uruk-hai infantry. That's gonna hurt. Now they're gonna be stuck in close quarters with these units. It's not fun at all. And there are, I think, some archers up on the walls. No, there's some up here. The Alert's hunting back. They'll be useful against Dunanine Troll Slayers. They have a pretty good shot against them, actually. Although they don't have the best angle from where they're standing. We got here so many pikes, though. It's going to be the Rangers and the Mangonel that make the difference. Although the Mangonel, I think, is... No, it's still around. It's still moving. Oh, the attackers are slowly grinding down the defenders. It says the victory is certain for them, but honestly, if you look at the numbers and you look at the amount of pikes that they have, that's the big deciding factor here. Numanas Gate Guards, I think, are being targeted down by the Rangers. Dunanine Troll Slayers being attacked from the rear by the Uruk-hai infantry. It says they're winning. Honestly, I don't believe it. Grithlin Sharpshooters here are probably going to fire point blank into them and rout them almost immediately, I would expect. Ooh, Nazakai. More Troll Slayers. How many Troll Slayers does he have? Maybe this is only a single unit. Indeed it is, and they're going to actually retreat. This is not the best place for them to be. They're a little bit exposed. I agree with that sentiment. Grithlin Sharpshooters is apparently out of ammunition, or maybe not. They're going to go right up onto the walls. Let's see what the attackers are going to do to try and prevent this. They have the ability. Keeps the Tharbad here holding up a unit of Black Uruks of the Mountain down to half strength. More Thieves of Tharbad being brought off the walls in order to attack the Uruk-hai and the Nazakai from behind. Let's see if they go through here. I think that would be the smart thing to do. Nope, they're going to chase the Dunanine Troll Slayers out of there. Oh, a huge hit from the Mangonel. Is that going to rout them? I don't think so. Oh yeah, the Hearthguard are too close. So this isn't going to be a rout. But damn, was that painful. Yeah, you got to take Mangonel seriously. They can be a bit random. They can also be a little bit destructive. Still a wonderful fight here about this gatehouse. How's it going? Still very even. And 2% of each other. And those guys are actually going to chase all the way out here. Greenwatch Garrison units, Troll Slayers. There's some dismounted Fornoster Rain Knights being brought to bear. This might prove to be a bit of a mistake, I think. The Nazakai have flown way too close to the sun. It was ambitious, hoping that they could destroy this unit of Dunanine Troll Slayers. But I think there's still some other reserve units nearby as well, and there's not really anywhere else that they can... Oh, that's so sneaky! Oh, man! Bubba was actually going to come in from the rear here against some of the Arthedain marksmen. Not bad. That's daring, but I think it's going to pay off. Yeah, those Dunai Troll Slayers are not going to have the opportunity to stop them before they can do that. Let's see what they're going to do here. Masquerade Guards apparently losing, mostly because of the massive HP values of the whites. 82, starting to pull it away a little bit. Oh yeah, and now this whole skirmish force has been disrupted. These guys are going to get one more volley off, I think, before maybe into the hunting pack or something. Oh, nasty. Nasty indeed. Well, they are breaking through over here with the Goblin Infantry are present. That's going to be no problem for them. They being the attackers. These are Tharbad fleeing. Yeah, it's an interesting fight so far. Mangonel trying to wind up for another attack. Ooh, did it throw? I think it did. Look for the flash. Not very effective. Didn't really do a whole lot. I think they're going after the Dunai captains over here. Hitting to the elites would be deadly. More Cardelin reinforcements being brought to bear. Ooh, another unit of Troll Slayers. Wardens of the North now as well. This is going to be tough. Let's see what they have, what the defenders have in reserve. Not a lot. They have pretty well left it all on the pavement. Let's see what's going on over here. This has been very much a disaster, I think, for Pasternak and for the Cardelin forces in general. This is not a fight that they were capable of winning. Not straight up, I don't think. Captains still available. Could be a nice thing to have. I think they're positioned where they are simply because they're giving morale to all these troops over here, but on this side it's going to be a different story. Over here, Black Rurik's getting fried. Oh no, some of the captains, or the Wardens of the North rather, getting caught up in that as well. Unit captains, more Troll Slayers. These are the heavy hitters here. Yeah, they need to break through. They need to get through here, maybe even up into this area, but of course there's going to be some relief forces, so I don't want to call it too prematurely. I think this is going to be a defending victory based on kind of the lay of the land as it is right now. Well, Black Rurik's trudging into pikes. Not going to go well for them. But the pikes are such an easy target for that Mangonel. Ooh. Some sharpshooters getting cut down there. At least the Mangonel's attention is elsewhere. AP. Oh no! Oh, I thought I was going to hit all the Dunai and Troll Slayers. I gotta say, I'm pulling for the attackers. They're that plucky little engine that could. Barrel White's getting fried there. A little bit of friendly fire. Yes, no one has been able to sink their teeth into that Mangonel and do the damage that they need to. Although, some retreating right here. Some of these are Tharbad. Maybe we'll be able to get in there. Nope. The Black Rurik's got to turn around and fight. Tharbad Warhammers, Dunai Captains. The real cream of the crop here. Moving in to silence, hopefully silence the Mangonel. They'll have no problem getting through the Black Rurik's. They just need to get them in there. I think they're being held up by some tiny little force. Yeah, they're very bunched up right now. Oh, come on, guys. Don't let that Mangonel get you. Come back there and we'll see what's happening. The reserve forces over here have done well. Another company of Trolls. Well, these guys are just everywhere, aren't they? Now might be a good time to bring in those Dunai captains on that end. I think the pikes here, the Wardens of Tirn Gorthad and the Minotaur Roman Guardians, they can hold this down for a while. I think they might be able to win this. But over here, this is where help is definitely needed. Mercenary War Chiefs being routed. Troll Slayers, this is a good opportunity. If the captains were brought up here, they do have a nice little crescent-shaped formation that they'd be able to wrap around the Witcher on Blackguard with and cut down a very, very important unit for Angmar. Very strong. Very much the linchpin. As you saw in our last Mangonel video, they're what kept my forces fighting for so long with that huge morale buff. Mangonel's trying to retreat here, but I think it's been caught. Yeah, the crew has definitely dropped that weapon. This is going to come down to courage and to skill, and I think that's where the attackers are going to be able to shine. We got over here, Wardens of the North still in good shape. Doom Knight captains, yet more captains. Still got the sharpshooters up here as well, now out of ammunition. AP mace infantry with good defensive values. They'll do great against the hunting pack. The Wardens of the North still have ammo, so they're trying to get out of there. But there are some Doom Knight captains that Arcturus, I think, is going to bring forward instead. That's going to be no problem. They are going to do very well against those Lords' hunting pack. This is a beautiful fight. I love this. This is like the traditional medieval 2 just grindy fight where everyone comes out a loser, and I love it. So many killed on either side. Such an entertaining kind of game to watch. Let's see. Captains have been brought in. Praise be. Although, the addition of the Guards of the Orthanc does kind of complicate matters. Now the Troll Slayers, I don't think any of them are going to escape. But some of these troops are being brought back. Blackguard, maybe some of them will fall in the retreat. And that's actually going to abandon this to the captains and to the remaining Troll Slayers. Interesting. They're limited in when they can attack, but still. Arthurian marksmen fighting side by side with their captains and the Tharbad Warhammers on the front lines. Black Rooks of the Mountain are not equipped to hold back this storm. Mangonel has been silenced once and for all. That's really going to leave the elite guard of the attackers to assault this final point. Goblin King's bodyguard being brought forward. Some Uruk-hai pikemen going to cover one of these breaches in the wall. Wonder where the Cardolan catapult has gone off to. I don't think it used all of its ammo. Oh, it's right here. It definitely still has ammunition. This is an ace in the hole for the Cardolan players right here. Look at this. This would be the perfect time to activate it too. Maybe go after some of those Witch Realm Hammer Guard. Do something here that thin out some of the reserves, and maybe this can be a victory for the attackers. Yeah, these guys are. Oh no, the Witchers! I didn't even know they had Witchers. Okay, Witchers coming in to destroy dreams as they always do. It does fry a lot of the defending forces along with them. Yep, and they're gonna rout. Damn, that was some nice use of the Witchers right there. A lot of friendly fire though. Again, nobody really came out of that on top. I think that's at least a volley of the 3 that the Witchers can use, so about a third of their ammo, maybe more. Didn't even know that they were. I didn't even know that they were here. Never even saw them. That's deadly. Doesn't look like the attackers knew that they were there either. Wardens of the North, what are they up to? Who are they even shooting at? Don't know. Just about the Knights of Inuminos fighting against the Barrow Whites. I love the iconic matchup of Angmar and the men of the Dunedain, I should say, of the North. It's just way too cool. Very iconic. It's like they're trying to retake a part of their country. That's sort of the imaginary stakes behind this battle. Love it. Let's see what happens next. Where did those Witchers go? I think the Witchers are, again, going to be the deciding factor here. They're being brought back. When you use them well, they can be very, very effective. You've also seen what happens when you don't use them so well. Certainly that was the case in the last Mangonel video I showed you, where I was playing as Angmar. Yep. Sad times. Hammer Guards. What we got here? Captains. How many captains are left? Not many. Certainly not enough to defeat the Blackguard. That's a losing fight. Hello, Hearthguard of Amlonsul. Chasing away the Guards of the Orthanc. I think there's still some Troll Slayers. But yeah, they've definitely got ammunition as well. Let's see. Have the attackers left anything behind? Do they have reserves? It would appear that they do not, although of course they do still have this catapult here. Let's see what kind of use can be made of that. A couple of elites out here. What do they have left? It's the Witchers. The Witchers and those pikemen. That's going to be the big thing here. I think if the defenders spread out the assault, maybe if they went back and claimed some of their lost ladders, attacking this area is something that they could do. But let's take a look. 92 to 92. Ooh. And Cardlin does have some decent units in reserve, don't they? Reinforcements being brought in here, as much as the defenders can spare, but they're being swiftly butchered by the elites of the attackers. Goblin King's bodyguard coming down. Azog leading the way. It's kicked up to 1.0 speed. Well, this is not going to be an easy fight for them. Goblin King's bodyguard and 0.96.1 are not the greatest unit. There we go. Oh no, the Witchers! There they are. That was nasty. They should be out of ammo soonish. Maybe I'd like to decrease their accuracy a little bit. They are very, very accurate. Oh, we got some runners here. D9 captains pulling out of there. Although that's got to be at least a third volley from the, or the second volley from the Witcher, so I think they've only got one left in the bag. Ooh, the catapult really wanted to get them. Well, they're gonna go back again. Let's see what happens here. Where are they? A shot from the catapult. Is they gonna be able to claim the lives of those Witchers, even this fight out? Ooh, nope. It's going to hit some of their own troops. That's disastrous. Ooh, nice shot there on the hammer guard, though. The Witcher's coming down. Does anyone have any ammunition left? These sharpshooters, they do not. Oh, that's tragic. They're just going to rout, though. Ooh, if they surge forward, they could catch the Witchers. That would be big. That would be... Oh, no, hitting his own troops. No, no, no. Keep going. Keep going forward. You could have caught them. Ah. What I think will be a fatal mistake. for the attackers, because I bet you those Witchers are going to turn around right away. Oh, yeah. They kind of ran all the way to the back here, but yeah, you'll see them turn around pretty shortly. Over on this side, yeah, still enough Cardlin forces here to keep a lot of these guys busy. And Blackguard dealing with the rest of their Duna 9 captain counterparts. A little bit of camera shenanigans there. Pardon me, guys. At least it's keeping them busy. Where are those Duna 9 Troll Slayers? That would be a good time for them to be used. They're nearby. I think they have ammunition. Unfortunate. Got some routers there. Where are those Witchers run off to? Oh yeah, they're going back. Oh no, they're going to fry those sharpshooters. That's what's going to happen here. Oh, no, maybe not. They missed a bit. Now would be a good time to pull through. Just pull through and catch them. Don't let them get another shot off. Those captains are going to flee. A bit of a miss there. Oh, they do claim some of the sharpshooters. Oh, nice, though. Nicer. This Witcher's getting cooked alive by that catapult. As you deserve. What do we got going on over here? Sharpshooters, some of them still have ammo, though. Some of those Witchers peek their heads out. It might be the last time. I would definitely save some of that ammunition at this point. It's not worth it. I'm gonna need it to blow a hole in the Urukai up here. Yes. How many Witchers are left? There's a few, about 3 of them. Oh, I see what they're doing. Oh, I hope that the attackers see this. This could be really bad. I don't think those Miaskirth and sharpshooters are within range in any case. Well, they might go after the catapult. Yeah, they probably go after the catapult. Well, let's see what they do. And they definitely see them. They are reacting to the presence of those Witchers. And now they're surging forward. Oh, one of the Cardinal generals just went down. Oh! Ooh, another one of the Witchers got shot. Yeah, that was a direct hit there. That's nasty. Guards of the Orthanc backed up with some pikes. Pikes coming in from the rear here. This will be interesting if they can get some more troops up here. They do still have reserves, and they have sharpshooters. I think I saw some archers around here as well. No, maybe it was the sharpshooters. Where's that Goblin King's bodyguard? Down to 12. Oh, that catapult, though. That catapult could get a nice, juicy shot there. And I think they know it. So they're going to pull back. It's really going to come down to the guards of the Orthanc here. If they can surround the guards of the Orthanc, I think they're going to have no problems in cutting down that final elite unit. Now, where are the Witchers? I think they are gone for good this time. Which means it's going to come down to the Blackguard here, but they're being held up. They're being held up by the Guard of Almonsul, who are no slouches. And what else do they have out here? Some Goblin trackers, I think, have been brought back. Came back from routing. It's a really close game, guys. 97-96. Ooh, and now those guards of the Orthanc are going to flee, and I think they're going to get peppered with bolts along the way. Oh, no, it would be the Witchers. There's one or two left of them. Ah, so they are still alive. What do you know? Let's see what's been freed up down here. Any elites? A few captains. There's a gate guard. Mostly sharpshooters, and of course the Wardens of the North. I would definitely send the Wardens after those Witchers. Oh no. Are they gonna get another shot off? Yeah, they are. Oh, that's so nasty. That's heartbreaking, honestly. Get in there. Oh, only two. Only two. They are gonna make it. And there goes one of the generals. Wonder who's gonna win this. They only really need to kill one more of those Witchers. Oh, keep going, guys. Keep going. Might come down to the Blackguard being the ones that win this fight, though. That's the Orthanc fighting against the Meansgrowth and Sharpshooters. Let's see if their high defense gets through the AP. There goes another Cardinal General. Are they gonna make it? Oh, they got fried again, did they? I think those Witchers, where are they? No, there was a unit of Dunite Troll Slayers. If those Witchers come in here, oh, they're coming back. Yeah, they'll fry. They'll probably fry these units. Ooh, there's Mythcrystalline Sharpshooters. Let's see what they do. Oh, the pikemen are here. What's going on down on this end? I think this is going to be a defender victory. It's a damn good game, though. Damn close. Bloody Witchers still running away. They're very much out of position, though. Let's see what goes on here. Yeah, the Hearthguard are gone. Wardens of the North are gone. Oh, no. They are not. They will be soon, though. I think this is where another Cardinal General goes down. Yeah, those Witchers, very decisive. Very decisive. We'll see. Maybe we'll make some changes to them. Probably to ammo, maybe to a little bit of accuracy. Not just because I was pulling for the defenders, but it does seem to be a decent step to take towards overall balance. That's the Orthanc. It's a really close game though, 98-96. Ooh. Ooh. One more shot? One more? Ah, they're all out. They'll never get it reloaded in time. Not before those guards catch them. 99-96 though. Oh, the Witchers. Of course. Of course! You damn dirty Witchers. It's a shame. It is definitely a shame. If they'd have noticed them in a few cases, they probably could have killed them. Oop. Ooh, nasty. Yeah, they definitely could have killed them, but I don't know. It doesn't seem like a lot of attention was paid to certain units, like the Mangonel, for example, which did a fair amount of damage, and to the Witchers as well. I mean, they are very small. It's easy to lose track of them in a big siege fight like this. Can't blame them too much, but a little bit more situational awareness might have won them this game, especially against those Witchers. But again, you know, maybe we'll make some changes to the Witchers. They may be a bit overtuned at the moment. Now, what do we have up here? Oh, sneaky! No way. Oh. Oh, that's so nice. Are they gonna do it? It's one guy with his javelins, infinite javelins. Keep throwing, buddy. I feel like he's just never gonna run out of ammunition. Or he's just gonna stop shooting altogether, just giving up. Let's see if they win this. Let's fast forward. I don't think they're going to, but it'd be really funny if they did. That was really sneaky. That was nice on the part of Eclipse. I mean, it was a good try. Yeah, here come the guards of the Or, I think. Does he kill any of them? He might. Get him! One more! Yes, he killed one, finally. It's beautiful. A really good fight. 99-96. You don't see a siege like this too often. Oh, Wardens are still there, though. Down to one. It's the King of Cardolin facing off against the Black Numenorians. It's one of those Obi-Wan versus Anakin moments. We're rapidly winding down here. Less than 1,000 frames at this point. It's going to be a hell of a game. Or it has been a hell of a game, I should say. What do we got here? Oh, the Witchers. That might be overkill. Come on. I want to see them try and fry the King of Cardolin, though. And, like, slaughter a whole bunch of their own troops. Yes. Yes, I want my wish. Do it faster. Yes, 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 yes. There you go. Oh, what? They killed Gundabad. They missed him entirely. This guy is impervious to fire. That is amazing. Oh, there we go. They finally got him. Oh, that was so cool. They killed their own general. I think they fried that whole unit of Blackguard too in the process. Oh my god. What did that end up being? Oh, that was crazy good. And it says they had 600 men remaining, but we know that that's with survivors and other sorts of things, which the attackers don't get applied to them. The losing side, I should say, does not get applied to them. Really, really good game. Everyone performed very well. Let's take a look at some of the kills here. Isengard, a lot of kills with the Uruk-hai infantry. A lot of dead, crappy Cardolin units. Unfortunately, we don't get to see the rest. Makes me sad. I know you guys would have liked to see that. But in any case, my name is Jordan, also known as J Monster. Hope you guys enjoyed this, and I hope I'll see you next time. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye!